My name is Ken, but my friends call me Ken Dog, and I'm inviting you to join me as I travel down the Mother Road, Route 66. Winslow, Arizona. I've been here a few times over the years. It's a great little town, and there's always something you have to do when you come to Winslow, Arizona. So let me find a parking spot, and then we'll go find a corner to stand on. Look at me standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Yeah, this little park here in Winslow is pretty cool. Alright, I admit, it's a giant tourist trap, but it's still pretty neat, especially if you're a fan of the Eagles and Jackson Brown, as it is. Yeah, as we've seen, they even have a flatbed Ford, so it's a pretty cool place to just come and take it easy. They even play a lot of Eagles music. Winslow, Arizona is a great stop. There is a whole heck of a lot more things to do in that town than just stand on a corner. But just like the last couple times I've been there, I didn't really have a whole lot of time to spend in town, so that's about all I got to do, as I had to hit the road, headed west towards my next stop. The ghost town of Two Guns in Arizona has quite a lot of history. Some of it might be true, some of it maybe not. But story goes that the Navajo found some Apache hiding in a cave. They smoked them out and then slaughtered them not too far from where I was standing right there. Now all that's left in the area is some rundown gas stations that have seen its better days, that are full of graffiti, and a marking that lets me know that somebody by the name of Opus was once here. Built in 1950 to capitalize on the post-World War II tourism boom, Twin Arrows Trading Post was originally named the Canyon Padre Trading Post. In 1954, it was renamed to the Twin Arrows as they added these, well, at the time, twin arrows, as you can see. There's currently only one, as one has broken off due to decay and is laying on the ground. But that doesn't stop it from being quite the popular attraction still along Route 66. If you're thinking to yourself, I've never been by Twin Arrows, but it sure kind of looks a little familiar to me, that very well could be because in the movie Forrest Gump, Tom Hanks as Forrest Gump ran right by here, right up Route 66. So that might be why you're thinking it looks familiar, because it does. After leaving Twin Arrows and not forgetting about Winona, I was on the road headed west, and man, what a difference the scenery makes here now. We're about a little over 2 hours away from the border with New Mexico and those big rocky cliffs, and just look at these trees. Kind of reminds me of back home in Washington. Absolutely beautiful. Just to prove that there are people that will actually pay money to do some of the silliest things, in my opinion. We have this zip line in Williams, Arizona. $6 a person for that. I had several people so far on my trip mention this little shop in Williams, Arizona, and now I know why. Just look at it. Those posters, the magnets, the metal signs, you name it, this place seems to have it. They got a lot of everything. It's a pretty cool place. Williams, Arizona, and that is the world's largest metal Route 66 sign. That thing was huge. I actually had to step back quite a ways just to be able to get it all in one picture. Just as I walked out of the Addicted to Route 66 shop, I headed to my car and it opened up and started pouring rain. I felt this was a good chance to drive around a little bit, see what I could see before I headed out of town. Seligman, Arizona, the birthplace of historic Route 66. I have been looking forward to getting to Seligman since I first started planning this trip. Seligman was located on the original alignment of Route 66 from 1926 to 1978 when I-40 bypassed it just a few miles to the south. It was here at Seligman that Angel Delgadillo started the Route 66 Association, and thus the revitalization of not only Seligman, but Route 66 as well. Since I had time before I could check into my hotel, I decided to grab some lunch at the famous Roadkill Cafe. Their menu is pretty funny. If you ever get the chance to go there and check it out, do. I had a couple bowls of their jalapeno popper soup. It was amazing. But after settling my tab, and just before I walked out, the power went out. And as I walked outside, I found out why. I like to say storms follow me no matter where I go, and this was a classic example of that. This was a drencher. Look at all that rain, stuff floating down the middle of the road even. As I sat there, did get to see a little bit of lightning. That was pretty cool. Here's a pretty good picture of one of them. But it didn't last long. It rolled through in quite a hurry actually. So I went up to check into my hotel for the evening. Just take it easy, rest, and relax for a little while. So after a quick nap, I decided I'm going to go back out and see how things are outside. And pretty much everything was dry. That storm moved through quick, and it was a beautiful, beautiful evening with a nice breeze. So I drove around town checking things out, and got to see a lot of things without hardly anybody there. Now, most of the places were closed because it was either late enough where they were closed, or I guess it seemed like some of them may have closed up early because of the storm. But I enjoyed my time around town and then headed back to my hotel to call it a night.